Yes, you are live.
Hey,
Hi. Let me
how are
check
you?
the link here. I'm okay, and you?
I'm okay, thank you.
Nice. So, Felipe,
Yes,
can you introduce yourself for us here? Tell a little bit about your story.
yeah, it's kind of interesting story. Hi, my name is Felipe Pimenta. Yeah, I'm from Brazil. I used to play professional tennis, and that took me to live 5 years in the US. So, yeah, since then, I for about, I believe in Brazil now for about 5 years, and you know, just trying to work things out.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, just a second. Now I'm sending people the link here so they can join us. Finally. So, professional tennis, huh?
Yeah, it's been a while, but
Very
yeah,
good.
I used to.
When did you start?
Playing tennis, so I start playing professional.
First things first. Let's
Yeah,
go from
but
the start.
I started playing tennis when I was 14 years old, I believe. Yeah,
Hmm.
about that. And then the transition was quite like pretty quickly. With 17 years of age, I started playing a lot here in Minas Gerais. So I used to be number one here in the south of Minas. And then
Good.
I moved to the state of São Paulo where all the tournaments are hold, like the big tournaments and everything. So I lived in São Paulo from 18 years old until I was 20, no, 19, 20. Yeah.
All right.
Had some good results playing professional here in Brazil. Travel, like, got to know a lot in Brazil. Travel pretty much the whole country.
Mhm.
Uh, and then I moved to Argentina, to Buenos Aires. Lived there for about 3 months. But when I moved to Argentina, I had the plan was to go to the US already.
Mhm.
So when I went there, I went to practice my English. That it was not very good at the time.
How
It
old
was
were you back then?
Yeah, I just turned 20.
Hmm.
It was like to the end of 2008, I believe.
All
So
right.
I lived in Argentina October, November, and December of 2008
Mhm.
to practice my English. It was really bad. I thought it was good because I could understand something in the movies, music,
Mhm.
but it turns out it wasn't it wasn't that good.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. And then when I saw my English wasn't good, I turned to the Spanish side. So it was like trying to learn the Spanish as quickly as possible so I could like communicate with people because not a lot of people there speak English as well.
Mhm.
So in 3 months, I didn't practice any English and learned the Spanish
That's
pretty quick.
good. Since you were in Argentina, right?
Yeah, yeah, I got to know Spanish pretty quick,
Nice.
and and yeah, Argentina was a good experience, to learn Spanish. Got to know a lot of people. Got to know people that used to live in the US as well. Used to play tennis professional, travel the whole world. So with them, I tried to practice a little bit, but they were not around very much in those 3 months because they were traveling playing tennis and with family. And I used to live in a, how can I say that in English? In a kind of like a dormitory, if you say,
Mhm.
like with
Mhm.
only tennis players.
Okay.
it was about like 10 people in one room, shared bathroom. Yeah, it was.
Only guys?
Yeah, the guys were separate from the women,
Okay.
and but
That's
it
good,
was like all in the
especially.
same hotel. Yeah,
Okay. Well, that's good, especially because of the bathroom part.
yeah, yeah. Someone would live with a lot of like teenagers
Oh boy.
and share the bathroom with teenagers that don't care about cleaning it, anything.
Guys, right?
Yeah, guys, exactly. That's right. And then I was there for about 3 months, and then I got accepted in a college in the US. So I had to come back pretty quickly here to Brazil. I was coming back already for Christmas and New Year's, but everything turned out to be really quickly because I had to be in the US, I believe, 10th of January. And I didn't have my visa. I didn't have any of my documents.
Oh boy.
I didn't have a ticket. I didn't have anything. Like I had to sort
What did you have?
only my passport.
That's a start.
Yeah, so I had to sort everything out in 5 days, 5 weekdays, From Monday to Thursday, I sorted everything. Like I had everything in hand on Friday, so I could fly on Monday night to the US. I remember exactly like that. It was like 1 week of going to interviews about my visa. That it was not a good thing because my English was terrible at the time.
So how was it?
Well, I didn't like how English is in school here in Brazil is a joke, right? Like you learn the verb to be until you graduate. Pretty much.
I'm not sure you actually learned that. That's the beginning of the problems actually. So.
Yeah. But like since I like a lot of music and movies, so I had like an idea more or less of like you know what I mean. And then I took in the last 6 months I was here in Brazil before I went to Argentina. I had a teacher that would come to the tennis academy every day, and I would study with only her for 6 months, me and her for an hour every day. And then that gave me kind of a clue, but but not that much. You try to suck everything in, but you're still a teenager, you're still trying to think about other things, and playing tennis, it was my actually main goal. And then I took the TOEFL during those 6 months. I took the TOEFL twice. Didn't get a very good grade on it. I believe I needed 60% to pass, I believe. And the first time I took it, I got 30%.
It's a start.
And the second time, I believe I got a 50. That's close, but I think it was luck. I was like more luck than actually level. And I took the SATs that are pretty much.
Felipe, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's kind of like breaking.
Connection. Yeah. Can't hear you very well. It's like.
It's kind of breaking up, got an echo.
Yeah, it sounds like there's someone chewing something.
Yeah.
Yes.
When I speak as well?
Yeah, just naturally. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's happening when you're speaking with me.
Oh. Let me check something.
Yeah. Is it doing up? Can you hear me?
Hi.
Is it okay? No,
No,
still doing it.
Let's try it.
I can understand you, but it's kind of breaking up.
A little robotic or something. I wonder if it's any, I don't know, configuration here, but can you hear me?
Yeah. It's getting less and less now.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's see if it works now.
Yeah.
So, where did you stop?
When I was taking the SATs.
Okay.
SATs is the vestibular in Brazil to get into college there. And I don't know like the exact scores, like how can you get, but I believe the higher grade is 1600, you know, 1600 points. And I remember I got 680 in total.
Wow.
For someone, Brazil is not bad, it's not that bad, but it's bad. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, yeah, actually, like the Brazilians, when they take the SATs, is around 450, 500. But for my English level, I believe that was very lucky of me to get 650.
Probably.
And it still didn't pass, you know. And I still got called to go. I got my scholarship to play because of the tennis. I had a very good tennis level, and the school kind of needed good players.
That's good for you.
Yeah. So I got to go anyway.
Yes. And it was the beginning for you, right?
Sorry?
It was the beginning for you, so in English, in your English level experience.
Yeah, I was like starting to learn.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I went to the US the first time, it was kind of because it's a pretty big shock, right?
Definitely.
You leave the airport, you're going through customs and everything. And when you get there, the shock is way bigger, especially for me, because I was very nervous about my English. Couldn't communicate very well, and like to communicate with someone, I would stop and like think about what I was going to say for about 5 minutes and see if it was correct because I didn't have any computer at the time. Like I didn't have a cell phone. Cell phone wasn't like this, right? But
yes.
Yeah, I remember I got to Dallas. I took the plane from Paulo to Dallas, and when I got to Dallas, Dallas is a very big airport, so we had to take a train to several places to find the gate, you know. And wing A, wing B, wing C. So one wing to another, you had to get a train. So I couldn't really speak, and so I made a friendship with another Brazilian that was living there for about a year, I believe. And he told me, you're gonna like kind of explain to me what I had to do. So from there, we separated, and I had to do everything by myself. And it was exactly the I remember, like, was exactly the date that Obama was giving a very important speech. So everyone was standing at the TVs, like the whole airport was like watching the TV, see what Obama was saying and everything. And yeah, it was quite a big shock.
I imagine. Definitely. Felipe, a conexão ainda tá meio travando um pouquinho.
Tá,
Você
parece
acha
que
que
ela
pode
tá
ser
com
alguma...
meio chiado.
É, a voz parece que tá meio robótica, né? Eu não sei se pra você parece assim também. Deixa eu ver.
Pra mim tá parecendo tipo um eco assim, um chiado pequeno.
É, pra mim tá um chiadão. Você tem fone aí? Alguma coisa assim?
Tenho, posso tentar?
Quem sabe, é.
Vou tentar pôr o fone aqui.
Ok.
Is it better now?
Much better. Is it better for you?
I'm sorry, so it was my fault. Yeah.
No, it's alright. Wow, this is very, very
sorry,
good.
It was my fault.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I can hear you now. I'm so happy. I'm a person that gets happy with, very simple things, and this is one of them, definitely.
That's me as well.
That thing on the back, is that a tennis racket?
Yeah, I got quite a few here.
Nice.
Just a minute.
Okay.
Yeah. I got quite a few around me. Nice. Yeah. Play tennis?
I wish you could play sometime.
Do you play?
You could teach me, No, I don't play. I just watch.
Yeah, let's set up a time and I'll go there and we play some tennis.
Of course. Nice. Or I can embarrass you. Pretending to play.
We'll see about that.
Can I tell you, I'm definitely not a natural.
Not a natural?
Nah, definitely not. But hey, so let's go back to your airport experiences, shall we?
Yeah, shall we? Like, how can I explain?
I don't know. Tell me about the first time you got into an airport there, when you arrived. How was it for you?
Like, I have some trouble with sleeping in trips, in travel, especially airplanes, cars, buses, and everything. I can't sleep like during the travel. So, and the flight was about 11 hours, São Paulo to Dallas, and it was the whole night. I passed the whole night watching movies and like thinking about what I'm gonna do. And
yes.
Yeah, when I got there, I was really tired, but I think I was very nervous, so I didn't feel tired at all. So I just wanted to get done, I'm that kind of person that if I start something, I want it to get done as quick as possible, so I don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got to the airport. I made a friendship with the guy that told me where I had to go and everything. And I had to go through customs, and it was quite an experience because I had the visa, I had all the papers signed out, like everything was good to go. But when you go to customs, I don't know, I still had that feeling that something could go wrong.
Yes.
you know. But like, since I didn't speak any English, they started to ask me questions.
Hmm.
I understood the questions, but the problem was to answer the questions. So it took me,
Yes.
yeah. So when you
That's
start
something
answering,
I always tell my students. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
no, no, no worries.
understanding is always the easiest part. You can understand people speaking to you, songs, movies.
Yeah,
Okay, understanding is easy, but creating the answer in your mind is something else entirely. So it's
entirely
much
different. Yeah,
harder. Yes.
it's it's kind of like as soon as you stop translating things and you start
Hmm.
speaking the actual English is way
Hmm.
easier. But you
Hmm.
learn
You
that
see,
like
students.
after you learn that like after a couple months that you know if you're gonna translate everything in your head before you say or before you understand it, it's gonna take a lot of time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
and sometimes people are not that patient, especially customs officers.
Yes, too. Definitely.
Yeah, so I thought I would have some trouble in the customs, but
Hmm.
I didn't. Like there was a pattern that you have to follow. Like I noticed that from the 5 years that I came and went, and like the fingers on the screen, they have to see your everything, and the questions are always the same. They look at the paper, they see your passport. If you have a visa check already, it's
Felipe? 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 Welcome back.
hello. I'm back. The
Yes,
internet connection here is not very good today.
it's
Is a
alright.
is a is a Saturday, Everyone is on.
Exactly.
But yeah, it wasn't very well.
Sorry? Can you repeat, please?
But being the airport by myself,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the first time I didn't have any trouble. But you hearing?
There's like a huge delay now. Your camera is pretty much frozen.
Oh,
Hi. Hello. It's me. Can you hear me?
uh,
Felipe? Just a moment, guys. We have some technical problems here. We're trying to fix that and get back as soon as possible. All right? Enquanto o Felipe não volta, pessoal, deixa eu explicar o que está acontecendo aqui. Eu trabalho na parte de idiomas aqui de Varginha e todos os meses a gente tem um evento que chama TMG, que é o The Magic of Giving, e essa é uma iniciativa justamente para promover a interação entre os alunos, né, de alguma forma mais descontraída e fora do ambiente de sala de aula mesmo. A proposta desse mês era a gente fazer uma live falando sobre profissões, experiências com inglês. E o Felipe, ele é um cara que já viajou, já morou fora, né? Já morou nos Estados Unidos, igual ele estava comentando, por um tempão. Né? Ele foi jogador profissional de tênis, por isso até que ele estava mostrando as raquetes ali. E estava começando a contar da história ali sobre quando ele foi para os Estados Unidos a primeira vez, né? Como que foi entrar no aeroporto, a questão da documentação, enfim, coisas nesse sentido ali, né? E ele tem muitas histórias interessantes para contar pra gente, só que ele tá com um problema na conexão da internet dele hoje. Eu tô vendo se ele consegue voltar para continuar conversando aqui conosco. Só um minuto. Conversando com o Felipe aqui, gente, sobre a conexão da internet dele, ele tá vendo se ele consegue voltar, tá? Só mais uns instantes aqui.
Alô?
Hey, welcome back again.
Deu? I'm sorry.
Yes.
I think
It's
it was
alright.
a problem with the internet with the whole building.
Which
I am
seems
on
very easy
the
to solve.
3G here on cell phone.
All right.
because the internet connection here just lost it, so I had to go on the 3G here.
Oh, it's all right. Welcome back
Yeah,
again.
thank you.
So I was telling
Thank you.
people, I don't know who, but I was telling people a little about what we're doing here and a little of what you're saying. Okay, so you can keep
Yeah.
going now from the airport experience on.
Yeah, the first time was like I was just very nervous, you know? Like
Yes.
the first time I was like all by myself and didn't have anything to, you know, to get help from. And with the English level, when I got to the airport, I saw how important it was, like, to have a good English, you know? And
Yes.
yeah, so I didn't have any trouble until I got to my final destination. That was Wichita in Kansas,
Mhm.
as the American would say, Kansas,
Yes.
with a little bit of the accent. That I got to know a Brazilian guy that was on my tennis team. I saw him
Mhm.
at the airport, like because we talked a little bit and we were gonna meet up there. And then from there I was like kind of relaxed a little bit, you know. Got to
Yes.
meet the coach and got to go to the college.
Mhm.
But a funny story, like my first meal in the US was a McDonald's. So
Okay.
yeah,
Classic.
classic, huh? And when I got to
And
the
where
line
were
to
you
ask
back then?
for in Wichita,
Oh, you still in Wichita? Did you go to
yeah,
other places or you remained there?
to I left the airport and went to the McDonald's, like was right by
Mhm.
it. I remember it was
Okay.
like a 5 minute drive.
Mhm.
And then like I remember I wanted to order a sandwich that was here in Brazil it's the same name, that Big Tasty.
Mhm.
It's a very good sandwich. Like at the time I was like kind of addicted to it.
Okay.
So when I yeah, because I used to eat that in when I used to live in São Paulo practicing, and
Mhm.
like every weekend I would go and ask for that sandwich. So
Because that's
I was on the line
definitely what an
preparing like
athlete
the
has
order
to
in my
eat.
head, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was a classic, you know. The first meal in the US is a McDonald's,
Yes.
and that's a classic. And then I was trying to like to organize my thoughts to order that sandwich. And when it was my turn to speak, like there was a blank in my head. I couldn't think of anything, you know. And the girl on the cashier start asking, "What's your order?" It's like yeah, like nothing would come to my mind, nothing. So the first thing that came to my mind that I could answer was like number one, please.
Okay, is that right? Is the
And
number
was
one the big
a
tasty?
Big Mac.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah. No, no, no. Like, but the only thing that came to my mind at the time was like I saw the number one there, and I was like, number one, please. And then they asked, like, you
Sure.
want the combo or just the sandwich? I was like, number one, number one. I couldn't really speak, but
Wow.
yeah. And then from there we got to go. Yeah, it was a pretty nerve-wracking. You think like it's a simple situation, but you get really frustrated that you can't speak. Like nothing comes to your mind when you get that
Yes.
nervous, you know. It was frustrating. And then I went to
Yeah.
college. I went straight to the college, and then I had to sort all my documents and everything, like trying to speak English with my coach and giving him all the documents. And I had to take English level test to see what was my English level.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out it wasn't very good.
He was the
It
number
was
one.
a beginners. Yeah, exactly. And then I had to study English in college. Like I had to take some basic English classes in college for a year. That helped me quite a bit, to be honest.
Yes.
Quite a bit, yeah. But what helped me a lot was being in a place like in the US, right? That I had no other resort except speaking English, you know? I
Yes.
had some Brazilian friends, some Mexican friends, Colombians, but everything, like we were around people from the US, England pretty much all the time.
Yes.
And we
But
all
by the
had to
way,
speak English the
that's
whole
where your
time,
accent comes
you know?
from.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. In my first 2 years in the US in college, I lived with only English guys. So I got my
Great.
accent from that, I believe. And then I tried to, like for a while, I think for a month, I tried to speak an American accent and it didn't go like as smooth as, my real accent. When you try to do an American accent, like when you got a little bit of an accent, it comes like a Texas accent. You trying to push the R way too much. Yeah, that's where
Mhm.
I'm from, like the kind
Yes,
of redneck accent.
definitely.
Yeah,
It doesn't fit you actually.
the American accent, right?
Yeah. No, it's like that's wrong.
Yeah, but what are some common
Stick with the British one.
questions
Perfect.
that it's better? Huh?
Oh,
It's it's not, but it's kind of like a mix of British or
sorry, Felipe, can you hear me?
Scottish.
Felipe?
Yeah,
Hi.
yeah, I can hear.
Okay. Your connection is a little,
Yeah, hear you. Can
you
you hear
know.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think it's gradually coming
Yeah,
back.
I'm on a cellular data, like 3G.
Yes. No, it's alright.
Yeah,
I
let's do that.
think now it's better.
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
That's not working.
I can hear you now. Take a deep breath. It's an exercise of patience, you know?
Yeah, I'm trying to to be very patient.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Anyway,
like I know you've been an English teacher. A lot of people has asked you like, what are some common questions that going to the US, like, what can I help with? That like from my experience, like, what questions people have like the first time they're going to the US? What trouble do they have?
well, in the beginning, airport.
Yeah,
That's the start. When you arrive at an airport, what do they ask you? What kinds of things or documents do they require?
like in my case, since I was by myself, I had a student visa. So with that student visa, there is a like the most important document is called the I-20.
Hmm.
Is a document from the school, like saying you are allowed to come into the country to study, right? And there are a lot of other documents that you have to turn in that saying where you're gonna live, for how long, contacts, like you know, a lot of things. But if you're going to a college or if you're going to study somewhere, they give you all that like ready to go, you know?
Great.
Yeah, but if you are a tourist, I believe it's kind of
It's a
more.
different.
It's a different thing. I never went like as a tourist, but I believe is more like
Just as a
relaxed.
professional tennis player.
Actually, like they didn't know that I wasn't just a student.
To be a professional tennis player.
Yes, but I think it's more like easier to go as a tourist is like just to visit than as a student, because a lot of people go to as a student and stay without the visa, you know.
Mhm.
And in the airport is not what I used to do that would relax me a lot. It's the first thing I would to do when I get to the airport. I pass customs and everything was find my gate. As soon as I find my wing, like where was
Mhm.
my gate, and I had a point of reference, right?
Mhm.
And from there, I could go because like I always had connections with flights and never was like a straight away flight.
Yes.
So as soon as I find my gate, I had a point of reference, right?
Mhm.
And from there, I used to find like places to go drink a coffee or eat
Oh,
something to relax a little bit, because the travel like inside the airplane is quite complicated. And that what I used to do. That would calm me down. Like the first thing I would do like is find my gate, sit down for a little bit, relax, look
mhm.
around and see what's around me so I could eat, buy a book, or drink some water. That helps a lot.
Yes, definitely. Wheeler has a question here for you.
Yes.
He's asking you to tell us a little bit about your experience with Thomas Bellucci in Argentina. How was
No,
that for you?
no, Bellucci. I had experience with Bellucci in Riviera de São Lourenço, here in Brazil. But
Okay.
In Argentina was a kind of more famous player. Now he's a top 8 in the world.
Okay. Who was that?
His name is Diego Schwartzman.
Hmm.
At the time, I was just turned 20 years old. Like I was preparing, as you know, to go to the US, and he was 15 years old. He was playing in Argentina already professional tournaments, and we had a practice session one
Hmm.
day, and I beat him. I won.
Yay!
Yeah, I tell that everyone, no one believes me. Yeah, now he's top 8 in the world, and
So
yeah, I be a top number 8 in the world. But I
I
don't
would
think
tell
it,
everyone that.
but I don't think he was playing that serious. To be honest, it was a very close match. As you know, the 5 years are different of age, but
Mhm.
I don't think he played that serious. It was just a practice session. He wasn't, and I was like playing the match of my life, I believe. Right.
Come on. You
Yeah,
beat
but
a top pro player.
at the time, I think he was number. He was in the top 10, because 10 is divided by age, right?
Mhm.
So after 18 years old, you are a professional tennis player. So
Yes.
is 17, 18, 15, 16. That's all the categories like juvenile and I don't know how it's called, to be honest, in English. Like categoria juvenil, categoria adulta, sabe?
Uh-huh.
Categoria infantil. In English, I don't think that I don't I think they call it like age of 12. Like I don't know if they have a name of the category. But yeah, he was only 15 at the time, and he was like beating everyone. And one day I got lucky and beat him.
Give yourself some credit.
Yeah. I brag to myself. I don't brag to others, but I brag to myself. When I see him on TV, I was like, I have beat you before.
Yeah, I would totally brag myself like all the time to everyone. Like,
It's a
you know,
good,
I used to be a tennis player. You know who I bet? Who I beat once? I beat that guy. You know?
yeah, like it's a boost of confidence.
Of course, right?
Yeah, but now it's all good fun. Like I'm sure he doesn't remember me, but yeah, for the 3 months I lived in Argentina, he was there for only like a month and a half, I believe, because he had to travel to play like big tournaments. He's already had sponsors. Actually, he
Oh,
was sponsors, but one of his sponsors was Olímpicos from Brazil. Yeah, at the time.
nice.
Yeah, and
He was
uh,
15 years old.
15 years old. Like every other day, someone would go there and have an interview with him. And he's a
Hmm.
very fun guy. Like he's very funny.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah.
What other guys have you met, like, who are, you know?
Uh, Thomas Bellucci, that was top 40 in the world once. He's Brazilian.
Hmm.
Just
How was that?
yeah, the situation was like we were prepping for a tournament in, I believe, in Brasilia. Like it
Hmm.
was a professional tournament, but we had to play the pre-qualifying because we
Hmm.
didn't have any ranking at the time to play the tournament. So we had to play. There is the tournament, there is the qualifying, there is the pre-qualifying to play the tournament. At the time,
Great.
like when I was beginning, so we had to play the pre-qualifying to get points, to get ranking,
Hmm.
and then so on. And we decided to go for the carnival to Riviera de São Lourenço because
Hmm.
one of my friends was from there.
Nice.
And then we went to the beach. We used to practice like morning and afternoon and beach after, like carnival. But
Yes.
we practiced like twice a day and ran. And then one day we went to practice and he was like just hitting some balls with his friend on the court because he had to play a tournament. Like I believe he was in the US, I believe.
Hmm.
And like as soon as we start hitting, like, and he came to us and, hey, can we play like everyone play everyone and start hitting balls because play with different people, it's good.
Hmm.
And like we just
So
made
it
a
was
friendship.
his idea.
It was his idea, yeah.
Great.
But yeah, I got to meet him there. I actually met a lot of players, like, but
Yeah.
only old ones. I don't think they would remember them now. But a lot of players here in Brazil, they were like top 30, top 40.
Hmm.
I'm gonna try to push that out a little bit so they can understand better. 40, 30. Uh, yeah, a lot of Brazilian players were like top
Top
30
30
in the
players.
world. Yeah.
You're saying about the R thing?
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah, now I can.
All right. So I just imitated a redneck accent here with all my heart, and the connection failed. It was too much for it.
Let me hear that again.
Moment's gone, man.
Now
Just
I have to
joking.
warn everyone that is thinking about going to the US. There is one addiction you have to be careful. That's coffee.
Oh
I drink
yes,
I drink coffee the whole day.
I love coffee.
Yeah, it started there like coffee, 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 coffee. I think that's all they drink the
Yeah.
whole day, especially in college, because in college like such a weird schedule. People like study until 2, 3 in the morning and get up for class like for 7 a.m. class,
Mhm.
8 a.m. class, and they get up, get large cup of coffee, and go to class. So
It's not
that's
that different in here.
here. I never been to college here, but Here,
Yeah, I
people
hope
like
so.
here people like to enjoy coffee. Like they like to sit down and enjoy the cup of coffee, like, you know?
Yeah, unless if you just study at a university here, then you drink coffee like all the time.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
graduated last year, and until last year, there were times that I got to the university at 2 p.m. and I left at 11. So there were two possible scenarios. I would take a bottle, or I
yeah,
would buy many
cups of
glasses of
coffee.
coffee. No, it's not cup, it's a glass, really,
It's a
like
glass.
this.
Oh, okay.
Many of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, one thing, only here in Minas Gerais that people drink coffee with sugar.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's not in São Paulo. But yeah, that's one addiction you're probably gonna have, especially with Starbucks and
Oh,
caramel
yes.
drinks and all that things. I never liked
Yeah.
that.
Really?
Yeah, I'm kind of like straight up coffee guy, like nothing, no sugar, no milk, no nothing, just coffee.
Yeah, milk is a crime for me because I don't like milk, and I think you ruin coffee if you add milk. But
Yeah, I don't know how can I say the taste of coffee as soon as you add a little bit of milk, it's not coffee anymore. It's just
no,
like a
a
leite com
crime.
Nescau, praticamente.
Yes, definitely. So tell me about
But yeah,
let's go to the very weird questions here,
yeah,
if you don't mind.
shoot, no, shoot.
All right, no.
Uh,
Uh, tell me a very embarrassing moment that you've had that you don't mind sharing, of course.
embarrassing moment.
Yes, or a moment that you felt like, what the hell?
Uh, I have to think about that one.
Oh, is it that hard? So you did great.
No, no. The problem is that there are a lot, and I have to think about like
Wow.
some of them. Okay, like Will is gonna know that one of the
Mm,
embarrassing moments was with him. I just came
okay.
back from the US. I was there for a year.
Hmm.
Didn't like only speak Portuguese like once a day for 5 minutes in the computer with my parents and with some friends, and but that was very rare. And
Hmm.
then as soon as I got here in Brazil, I came to our hometown, Campo Belo, because Will is from Campo Belo. He's not from Virginia.
Uh-huh.
And then we met at a pizzeria he was working on. He was working at, sorry. And my Portuguese was very bad. Like I didn't got to like I wasn't speaking very very well Portuguese. That's all. I don't know why. I think I didn't make this. I didn't click the switch or something. And I was telling him a story, and I was saying like in general, but I said that in general in Portuguese. So I said so
Okay.
no general da coisa.
Wow.
And he looked at me like he already had he speaks a little bit at the time. He looked at me and was like, huh? Like, what are you saying, man? I was like, no geral da coisa ali. Ele falou assim,
Yes.
that's not right. And then he
Yeah,
called up
well,
one of our other friends that speak a little bit in English as well. It's his best friend, and he started telling this story for everyone.
of
So my
course.
so my nickname now with them is General. Hey, o
Makes
General
sense.
is coming. Yeah, that's
Oh.
kind of embarrassing because like I don't know why for about a week or so I couldn't speak Portuguese, like only the basic,
Hmm.
because I was when I went there, like, since I didn't speak very good English, I focused so much in learning and thinking English that as soon as I got back to Brazil, I couldn't think in Portuguese straight away. You know, sometimes I was translating things to English to Portuguese to speak to my parents or so on.
Yes.
And it's not all the time.
Mm-hmm.
People think like you're just messing around, like you forgot Portuguese. I was like, no, sometimes it's real. There's like some brain damage. I don't know what happened. You simply forget. Especially like when you come to Brazil, start speaking Portuguese and go back to the US to speak English, it's rusty, you know?
I know, right?
It's rusty.
And I've never been there, but I go through that like every week.
Like even
Do you have
sometimes
those moments like you're saying something and then out of the blue you're like, how do you say that in Portuguese again?
yeah, every day. And I've been living here in Brazil for 6 years now.
Yeah. I've been living here in Brazil for 28 years and I go through that too.
Like everything of mine, like my phone, my computer, my video game, my Netflix, everything of mine is in English, right? I put that like since I came back to Brazil, so I was like, I'm not gonna lose my English. Try to keep it up or something. But like sometimes in Portuguese, I know how to do it on my phone in English, and when someone asks, "Oh, how do you do that?" I was like, "Yeah, let me see." So I have no clue how to do that in Portuguese.
You have
Sometimes
to check,
it's like
right?
the mind play tricks with you.
Definitely. And let me tell you something. Actually, not tell you, but ask you something.
Yeah.
About the different accents, because you've had contact with a lot of different accents, and how was that for you? The adaptation.
Like as I said, like I focus so much on learning and trying to understand people and communicate with people. I made friends with people from Australia, England, Scotland, Irish. The worst accent, by the way. The Irish accent, it's really hard to understand, and the Guyana accent as well. Guyana, I don't know how to pronounce that.
That.
Yeah, Guyana, right? Guyana.
Yeah, you mean in Portuguese? I think so.
No, in English. I think it's Guyana. I don't know how to pronounce that. Even in Portuguese, Guyana, I think, is in Portuguese.
Yeah, we got the
It's
we got the
close
idea.
to
Yeah.
it's close to the Irish one. But when
I mean the
in the
French
US,
one.
like, yeah, it's really hard because
I
like
think
the pronouncing the words.
I think it's Guyane.
I don't remember how to.
Anyway, all right.
Yeah, because I have a friend. I had a friend from there in college, and his
Oh.
accent was like terrible. Not even the Americans or the English people would understand. We had to ask him like constantly to speak slowly so everyone could understand him.
And like, was that real English?
Yeah, it was his first language. He was in the Caribbeans, close to the Bahamas.
Wow.
Like, I took a vacation once. I had a really good friend in the US that was like a millionaire, and he took me to Bahamas like for a vacation. Like not just me, he took like
Sorry.
10 friends.
Okay.
Yeah. And the first language there was English, and the accent was like completely different than we thought, you know, because it's very close to Miami, I believe, Florida. But the accent was like the Caribbean accent is different.
Yes.
It's like you see in the movies. If like it's one thing when before I went to the US, I didn't know about accents at all. So every
Problem in the connection here, people. Just a moment. Vou checar se o Felipe consegue voltar novamente. So people, in the meantime, since it's live about professions, I think I'm gonna say a little bit about my profession, right? I don't know if everybody knows that, but I am an English teacher. And I remember when I was a teenager, I knew nothing about English. English was something that I didn't like. It was very hard for me. And I had this opinion like, why do you want to learn English? English is not good, you know? English is not beautiful. It's useless, right? And then I failed the subject in school. And that was a very important moment for me because I thought there are so many subjects that are easy. And I failed English, like the easiest subject. So I decided to do something about it. And my mom paid me some classes. And I studied for 3 months. After that, I started to like English, actually love English, because I started to understand that, to understand how to say the things that I needed to say, how to use the structures and the verb tenses, and I fell in love with English deeply. And it took me 2 years to be fluent. And after 10 years, here I am. I speak English for 12 years, and I am a teacher for 10 years now. So I gave English a chance. I gave it a shot, and now it's changed my life a lot. It can change your life for the better. Nowadays it's very important for everyone to find a job or to keep a job. Everything is global. So we need to communicate with people from all over the world, especially now during this pandemic. So for me, it was even better because now I work directly with this, and I found out that I love teaching too. I love English, I love teaching, I love my students. I think I tell you that all the time. And it's been a very important part of my life, being a teacher, getting to know people, to understand how people learn, how people develop, the different kinds of learning, and to be able to pass this knowledge to people has been very important for me. So English can change your lives, people. No matter what you do, what kind of job you are, English can change your life. You just have to want that. So if you want to change your life, to learn English, talk to me. I can help you with that in this process, or I could give you some tips whatever. I'm here, all right? And my advice for everyone is give English a chance because it can help everyone. Guys, if you have any questions here for me, Felipe is trying to connect again. But if you have any questions, I'm here. Ask away. And Felipe is back. Maybe.
I'm sorry, guys.
It's alright. Hello again.
Hi. Deu pico de energia aqui, apagou tudo. Tudo.
Oh. Is the Wi-Fi back?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
No, not really. I'm on a 3G now.
Okay. You can send me the bill later. Okay.
No, there is no problem. Yeah, where were we? You asked me a question. I don't remember which question.
Me neither. Let me see. We were talking about the accents.
Yeah.
And you were mentioning a guy that nobody understood what he was saying,
Yeah,
and then you have a millionaire friend.
Yeah, took me to Bahamas. Yeah. We were talking about those mix of accents, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there are a lot mix of accents. Australians are different, like different part of England, like different accents, you know.
Yes.
And I had people I met people.
Sorry to interrupt, but one thing that I think is very interesting and English learners don't really understand at first is that there are many types of accents everywhere. Like in Brazil, we have Mineiro accent, Paulista accent, Carioca accent, Sulista accent, and we, everything's Portuguese, but we speak differently, right?
Exactly.
And there's the Brazilian and the Portuguese one. So.
Yeah, and we have different expressions as well. Like one thing could mean something here in Minas, and in São Paulo or Rio means something completely different.
Exactly.
It's the same in the US.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the US, you're not gonna hear that much of difference on the accent, except from Massachusetts. The accent there is very strong. But
strong how?
It's it's more from the British accent, I would say. Like it's, I don't know, they have a different type of speaking. It's weird. It's weird. Like the people from Boston, the accent is like completely different. You can still understand it, like it's very similar to the like to the whole United States, but it's different.
All right.
Yeah. So I got to meet people from all around the world, like Croatia, Belgium, Germany. I have a really good friend in Germany as well. His accent is spot on like German.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which one was the hardest?
The hardest.
The one that you heard and you were like, I have no idea what you said.
Probably that Guyana guy.
Okay.
Now the Irish. There were Irish accents. I don't know. I don't want to swear. But it's bad.
Okay.
It's bad. Like you're gonna say like I'm from Ireland. I speak like their way of saying is like I'm from Ireland. Like they don't pronounce the words.
It's almost like they're singing a little bit.
Yeah, it's I don't know. They only them can understand themselves. Like I don't think not even the people from England or Scotland that's very close can understand.
You seriously think that the Irish one is harder than the Scottish?
Yeah.
Wow.
I had a Scottish girlfriend. It wasn't very hard. Like we used to speak a lot, but and her accent was very strong, and it was hard, but not that hard, But
Maybe
the Irish people
proximity, maybe.
I think they don't care when they speak. Like it seems like they don't care if the other one understands what they're saying, It's just like a mess. It's like you can't understand them.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
It's really weird. Even I have a lot of friends in England, especially London, like around London, and they say like, man, don't talk to Irish people. You can't understand them. Yeah, even the English people.
Have you spoken to Indian people?
Yeah.
And you still think Irish people are harder to understand?
They like the people I've met from India, they speak very slowly. Like when they talk to you, like it's very slowly. They pronounce the words.
So British. Hi. Felipe?
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me? Felipe?
Hello?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me? I can hear
sorry,
you.
Guys. Is my video back?
Not yet.
Yours is back here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yours is a little shy then.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, but like, can you understand me? Or...
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, but the accent is Irish is very difficult.
Oh yeah. Wheeler has a question for you. If you had any feelings about staying in the US and having a professional life, getting engaged, stuff like that.
Yeah. When I came back to Brazil, my plan was to come back for 6 months and go back and finish college, because I'm only missing the, here in Brazil, you guys would call it TCC.
All right.
Yeah, I
How do
just
you
have
call
to
it there?
It's like the final project. I don't remember the exactly name, but we have to take a class and present it like to everyone. It's different. Like each course is different, you know, each major. And I
Your
had a
camera's
job.
back, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Slowly, but it is.
Yeah, I had a job lined up already. Lined up, like I had a job already that I could go back to. And I came to stay for 6 months and had some family trouble, and start working, start making a little bit of money, and you get a little bit too comfortable and you delay for another 6 months, and then more things shows up, and then you kind of give up on it.
All right.
But I haven't given up on it. It's just like maybe late in the future, but not now. I can't. I couldn't go back right now, especially because of the COVID.
Yes. In the pandemic time, it's kind of hard to do that, right?
Yeah, it's very hard, and especially when the dollar is like almost 6 real.
Yes, definitely.
At the time I lived there, the dollar was like 1.4, 1.6 was like always 1.4, 1.6, always like that time of currency.
Wow.
Yeah, and now it's like 560, I believe. The last time I checked was like 563.
Yeah, and apparently the projection is to keep increasing until 2022.
Especially with the new president.
Great. Yeah, so maybe you can go back in 10 years. Just joking.
Maybe. Right now, my plan is to go back to visit. Maybe sometime, but not to leave anymore. I think I'm too grown up to do that now.
Yeah.
But if nothing works out here, that's not likely. I have some contacts that could, help me out. Hopefully.
Yeah. You just have to pay a lot to get there because of the dollar.
Yeah. I actually really know this guy. We have a friend in common, like a guy that we know here from our hometown. That he went as a tourist, right? He went to visit, and when you go to visit, you only can stay for 3 months, like secret, And he stayed there for a year, got a job.
Wow.
And he worked there for a year as a legal guy.
Felipe, I can hear you well now.
Yeah, I can hear.
Yeah, it's the same problem from the beginning.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not. For me, it's normal.
Oh, maybe it's is your phone like moving or something? Maybe it's that.
What? Sorry?
Is your phone moving or something?
No, it's connecting to the battery. Just a second.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it better?
Much better. Again.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm going to open up for questions now. If anybody has a question to Felipe, to me, I don't know why people would ask me anything, but okay, people, if you have any questions, se tiverem alguma dúvida, alguma pergunta que queiram fazer para o Felipe, nosso convidado especialíssimo de hoje. Se você também, Felipe, tiver alguma história aí que você queira contar especificamente, particularmente, fica à vontade, tá?
Não, eu acho assim, speak in
O Willa
English
já
ou
tá se
português?
manifestando. You choose. O Willa já tá se manifestando ali. Mas pode falar.
Let's speak in English.
Alright.
Whenever you go to the US or another country that you don't speak the language, don't like don't be afraid to communicate. You know, like one of my friends over there told me that this is one thing that is stuck to my mind. Fluent people, right? Whenever you say you are fluent, doesn't mean you know everything. You know how to express yourself and understand others. That's what fluent means. After he told me that, I took a huge, weight out of my shoulders, because in my mind, to be fluent, I had to know everything. I had to speak everything and understand everything. So after he told me that, just a weight lifted off my back, And I very agree with that expression. Fluent people is like knowing how to express yourself and understand others.
Yes. Very good.
Yeah.
Eu acho que assim, eu vou até falar isso em português para acalmar o coraçãozinho das pessoas que podem estar
Fala em
assistindo
português.
também. E o que acontece? Muita gente pensa que falar inglês a gente tem que saber tudo muito certinho, muito regradinho e tal. Mas a verdade é que nem com português a gente faz isso, né? A gente não.
Nem
É
com
muito difícil
português.
a pessoa conseguir ter todo o conhecimento gramatical ali, seja de português, seja de inglês, enfim. Acho que o mais importante é realmente a gente conseguir se comunicar, conseguir passar a ideia ali, entender o que as pessoas estão falando. Isso aí já facilita muito a comunicação. Né? O inglês é a língua universal hoje em dia.
Facilita demais.
Pois é.
Assim, não ficar com medo de perguntar, porque eu, muito no começo, eu perguntava para todo mundo, por que se usa isso no lugar disso? Tem hora que se fala assim. Tipo assim, isso me ajudou bastante, entendeu?
Sim.
São
É
coisinhas
porque
que,
assim
tipo,
você aprende mesmo,
você
né?
aprende. São coisinhas que você aprende que, tipo assim, uma história que veio na cabeça, assim. Eu lembro que eu tava lá no meu segundo semestre, eu ainda estava estudando inglês, e comunicando, eu lembro que eu tava conversando com dois amigos da Inglaterra e um da Austrália. E eles estavam falando assim, porque não sei quem ficou bravo comigo, mad at, you know? Someone got mad at me. I was like, aí eu perguntei, né? Falei, por que quando você fala que você tá bravo com alguém, é at, não mad to me? Sabe, umas coisinhas assim, umas expressões assim. Eu falo assim, não, quando alguém tá bravo, tipo assim, at you, not to you. You know, it doesn't. In English, make sense when I say that, but in Portuguese, if you translate it, it doesn't make sense. But it's little things that helps you out a lot. Like ask,
Yes.
why is that? Why is that? So, and most of the people are very very nice. They explain to you in a very good way.
Nice. Wheeler tem uma pergunta que é: o que o inglês mudou na vida de vocês?
It changed my whole life.
Pode até responder essa em português, viu?
Mudou minha vida. Né? Eu tive que aprender inglês para sobreviver, né? Assim, principalmente. Se eu quisesse fazer o que eu mais gostava de fazer na época, que era jogar tênis e continuar com a bolsa na faculdade, eu tive que aprender a falar inglês, e mesmo para me alimentar, para me comunicar com outras pessoas, para não me sentir sozinho, mesmo tendo alguns brasileiros à minha volta, eu tinha que saber falar inglês quando eu não estava com eles, né?
Sim.
Então mudou praticamente minha vida inteira. Hoje, mesmo que hoje eu não faço tanto uso do inglês como gostaria, mas eu ainda tenho contato, eu tenho muita amizade com o pessoal do meu time de lá, e a gente tem um grupo de WhatsApp e conversa quase todo dia no grupo.
Sim. Essas
entendeu?
conexões, né?
Essas
Você não...
conexões que não podem perder, porque, tipo assim, eu falo, eu aprendi a dar muito valor em amizade a
Uhum.
partir do momento que você vai para outro lugar e sozinho, e você olha para um lado, você olha para o outro, você não tem ninguém. Então a única coisa que você tem que te dá um suporte é a amizade. Então você valoriza muito isso,
Nice.
entendeu?
Uhum.
Então são conexões que não podem perder.
Pois é. Enquanto a conexão caiu, eu até falei um pouquinho da minha história com o inglês aqui, eu vou só resumir rapidamente em português. O
Uhum.
que o inglês mudou na minha vida? Me deu o meu trabalho, né? Assim,
Te deu
o
uma
que eu
carreira, né?
faço, o meu sustento, a minha carreira nos últimos 10 anos é puramente inglês, sabe? Porque eu me apaixonei por isso, né? Então, assim, a partir do momento que eu fui entendendo o que era inglês, como que se usava, como, né?
É.
Nossa, mudou tudo. Me
Aí.
apaixonei. Me apaixonei em dar aula também, coisa que eu jamais imaginei até eu fazer isso pela primeira vez. E tô aí.
É.
André has a question.
Yes.
A question to both of you. What country would you like to live, and what other languages would you like to learn?
I would like to live in Europe. I would say the whole Europe, like all of the countries, because I like to get to know the culture of the place.
Aham.
I lived with people from Germany, Portugal, Spain, England, and everyone. And the culture, like it's each culture has its own way, like. And all the languages I would like to speak German and French, I believe. German and
Uhum.
French.
Nice.
Is two languages that I would like to speak. Yeah.
Uhum. Good. As for me, I think I'd like to live in England
Yeah.
because I don't know. I've never been there, but the little that I know attracts me a lot. And languages that I would like to learn, I don't know. I am totally in love with languages and the processes that involve creating a language and speaking that language, and how all the languages influence all the other ones, pretty much. So I think French, German, Spanish, they are the main ones that I want to learn eventually. Uh, on second place, probably Japanese. That would be my second choice, pretty much.
That's a complicated one.
I know, right? But I like
Yeah.
complicated things. I don't know why. I don't deal well
Yeah.
with
One
simple.
of the countries. Yeah. One of the countries I would like to live in is the U.S. I like to live in that very much. It's very good living. The U.S.
Imagine.
is very different than Brazil. It's very much like it's much more organized. Everything works.
Yeah.
Everything.
Hmm.
Everyone in a place like makes everything works. Everything works like it's supposed to.
Nice.
Here in Brazil is like just you know
Yeah, the ideas here in Brazil, they're fantastic. They're amazing.
yeah.
Problem is how we execute most of them.
Yeah.
So it's complicated.
Yeah.
Let me see if there are any more questions. Not so far. Well, we've been here for an hour and a half. I think that's a good enough time, right?
Yeah.
Alright. Felipe, eu vou até falar em português agora. Eu queria te agradecer demais por essa presença, por essa iniciativa,
Que
essa
isso.
colaboração, por todo o 3G que você gastou hoje aí com a gente. Eu falei
Não
brincando, mas é
preocupa
sério,
não.
pode mandar a conta, tá?
Não.
Porque olha, honestamente. E, assim, a nossa iniciativa aqui na Parque Idiomas é justamente essa, né? De você aprender o inglês pelo inglês, essas coisas que você comentou sobre não traduzir, né? Quando você para de traduzir, tudo flui melhor e tal, e você aprendeu
Exatamente.
falando. Então, isso é fantástico, isso é exatamente o que a gente propõe, o que a gente faz na escola, né?
Aham.
Espero que a gente possa se encontrar mais vezes aí, quem sabe para uma live de 84 horas de novo, ou quem sabe alguma aula, né? A gente
Não,
vai
vamos,
conversar
vamos
mais
combinar
sobre isso.
mais. São, assim, não foi nem metade das histórias ainda. Tem muitas histórias interessantes assim, que acontecem, são coisas assim
Sim.
sobre o que as pessoas pensam da gente. Tipo, eles também têm medo de abordar a gente. Então, são fazer outra live para falar sobre essas coisas, tipo racismo, tem também, sofre bastante, não bastante, mas você sofre alguma coisa ou outra,
Uhum.
entendeu? A dificuldade de viver lá, de pedir alguma coisa, como socorrer, o que, que acontece, entendeu?
Uhum.
São coisas completamente diferentes daqui que às vezes uma dica ou outra pode ajudar, entendeu?
Com certeza. Sim. A gente fica em contato e marca isso aí.
Sem
Quem sabe
dúvida.
esse ano ainda, tô brincando.
Pode ser
Faltando
esse ano
um
ainda.
mês para terminar. Mas a gente combina com certeza. Eu te agradeço muito aí
Porque isso,
pela presença.
se alguém tiver alguma dúvida, se quiser, pode passar meu contato, entrar em. Tem muitos amigos meus que, especialmente o Willer também, quando vem me mandar mensagem, me manda mensagem em inglês para praticar, sabe? Tentar conversar com os amigos em inglês, isso ajuda muito,
Pois é.
entendeu? São coisas, poucas coisas assim que às vezes a longo prazo faz uma diferença muito grande.
Sim, com certeza. O máximo de contato que a gente conseguir, né, com a língua
É,
ajuda muito.
exatamente.
Eu nunca saí do país ainda, foco no ainda, mas a gente consegue sim fazer uma imersão, né, tendo pelo menos ali assim um celular, alguma coisa que você configure em inglês, livros, né, se você conseguir ler em inglês também. Tem muita música, gente, né?
Olha,
Acho que o
só
Spotify.
uma dica que me ajudou muito, eu acho que foi a dica que mais me ajudou.
Hum,
Eu, no começo, eu assistia muito filme infantil. Eu
sim.
comecei a assistir filme infantil em inglês,
Uhum.
com legenda, depois legenda em inglês, depois sem legenda, porque o
Uhum.
filme infantil, a pronúncia é muito devagar, é uma pronúncia muito pausada. Então
Sim, a
você aprende
dicção
muito com
deles é
isso.
muito certinha, né?
Isso. Então, assisti muito assim. Nossa, eu cansei de assistir Cinderela, Bela Adormecida, Branca de Neve, isso daí. Para estudar é muito bom.
Sim.
Para estudar é muito bom. Filme infantil,
Recomendo
eu acho que
Frozen
eu
também.
assisti. Frozen. Nossa,
Não sei se
eu
você
acho que eu assisti
assistiu.
umas 2 vezes no avião. Já.
Sério. Eu acho a Kristen Bell, a dubladora da Anna de Frozen, ela é perfeita. A dicção dela é maravilhosa, sabe?
É. Ela. Muita gente ali. Eu não sei, eles trabalham muito com. Tem até, como é que fala? Professores de sotaque, né?
Uhum.
Tem
Exato.
professor de sotaque, então eles aprendem muito, assim, a pronúncia deles são muito, principalmente em filme infantil.
Uhum.
Eu li uma reportagem, assim, eu não sei até que ponto que é verdade, mas até o The Rock, para fazer o filme infantil dele, ele teve que pegar um professor de sotaque para ele acalmar o jeito de falar, alguma coisa assim.
Uhum. Mas eles trabalham muito em cima disso.
Filme infantil eu acho que é uma ajuda muito grande.
Sim. Mais alguma dica aí pros beginners? Além de estudar na Parque Idiomas com a gente?
Ah, muita gente tem medo de falar, né? Não pode ter medo de perguntar essas coisas. Eu acredito que a partir do momento, assim, eu gostaria, se fosse comigo, a partir do momento que você começa a estudar em um lugar, você entrou numa escola de inglês, você não poderia falar inglês, português mais, a não ser a partir do momento que você sai dali, né?
Uhum.
E eu acho que eu estudei muito pouco aqui no Brasil, eu não sei como funcionam as coisas assim direito.
Uhum.
Mas o jeito da parque, pelo que já foi explicado para mim, é um jeito completamente diferente, entendeu? Foca em você aprender, foca em você, tipo, entender as coisas mais fácil.
Exato. Pois é,
Mas é mais
exatamente
isso, música também ajuda demais, né? São dicas assim que você vai aprendendo ao longo do caminho.
Exatamente. Agora deixa eu te fazer uma piadinha que eu tava segurando durante a transmissão inteira.
Agora,
You're not in Kansas anymore?
no, I'm not in Kansas.
Ai, obrigada. Eu precisava soltar isso.
Yeah.
Enfim.
Lá,
Felipe.
lá você só vai ouvir isso, viu? Só Kansas.
Ai, Jesus. Muito
Yeah.
bom.
Tá bom.
Certinho.
Gente,
Felipe,
muito
muito
obrigado.
obrigada, viu? Uma
Desculpa
boa
qualquer
tarde aí pra
coisa.
você.
Desculpa
Não,
as falhas na internet.
imagina, foi super proveitoso aqui. Muito obrigada mesmo.
Que é isso. Até a próxima, então.
Até. Bye.
Bye.